everyone, welcome back to my channel. Super exciting today. We have a really great episode up for you guys. I'm going to talk to you about how to look after your Valentino bag. So this is like super important. I did not know this. This has been a lot of something I've learned, a lot of me talking to my Valentino reps at my local Valentino boutique about how I can get the most out of my bag and ensure that my bag's gonna last with me for a lifetime. Because spending that kind of money on a designer bag, you don't want it to be damaged quickly, or sunspots, or all that kind of horrible stuff that happens to your bag and then it can't get fixed, and yeah, it's just not fun. So don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my content if you want to see more of me and my fashion tips and some more of my collection as I walk you through some of my favorite bags and clothing in the designer sphere. So into today's video. If you watched my video that I just posted about my mother-daughter collection, I thought that would be a really great way to start off by telling you how I'm looking after, my mother and I are looking after our collection. So as you may have seen, I bought 2 medium rock stud bags, rock stud spike bags, and I'm going to show you how we look after those. So firstly, your bag comes, when you purchase it, it comes with some stuffing, which is super important because that stuffing isn't just something that you take out and throw away, not unless you have something else that you can put in this bag to keep it puffed up and make sure it has its shape. It's super important that you make sure that your bag has always got something inside of it. If it's empty, I will take it out and show you. When your bag is empty, which this bag is now empty, it's susceptible to being crushed. So it's very pliable now, and when it gets crushed, it's very difficult for it to maintain its nice, sleek lines and curves, because it will not, it's leather at the end of the day. It's not anything, there's no cardboard or anything in there that's going to keep it firm. So if it's not going to sit in a firm spot, it's going to really be battered. And so that's probably like the main lesson I have learned, which is, even if I go out, I use it on a daily basis to make sure that, at nighttime I keep something inside. Of course, there's felt liners. I've seen a lot of people who have Hermes bags, the Kelly and the Birkin. They use felt liners. They're also really helpful as well if you have a Neverfull to help keep it very square and angular. I haven't seen them for this particular size bag, but yeah, I highly recommend doing something, some sort of fabric, even if you have like those air blown things that you put in like shoes. They're really helpful as well. Just something kind of in there to keep its shape. So the second biggest tip I have is a rock stud spike bag has spikes, even on the inside, the flap here, which the flap will then cover. This can be precarious. The rock stud spike bag is iconic for its studs, but the studs are also very dangerous. And they're very dangerous to this part of your leather here. They can easily leave an imprint. So this one doesn't have it. I will show you one of my bags that has quite a significant imprint on the leather, which is, to be honest with you, quite upsetting because there's not much anyone can do for that. So this one here, as you can see, the leather has kind of little dots. So how do I avoid this from happening? Well, it's kind of simple, as like, you can really see it, the little imprints. Of course, for some people, they may not be like a big issue because it's on the inside of your bag. But for someone like me, I find that even having it, like every time I open it, I just see it, and it's quite unsightly. So to avoid that from happening, there is this ingenious idea that I have come up with, which is to line your bag with felt. Lining your bag with felt is perfect, not only to store it in, but also for if I want to take my bag overseas on an airplane, and I put this in my luggage. Everything gets crushed, everything moves around, everything is jostled, and so it's really great to have something like this. It's not terribly thick. I mean, I can see light through it. It's not extremely thick felt. It's normal felt. And so something like this will stop the bag from imprinting heavily on itself, and it will keep the bag it will look new. So what I do is my routine with my bag, every time I use it, I take everything out and then I reline it with padding. So this padding here fits perfectly. Actually, to be honest with you, I do felt first, padding second. So this felt size here is perfect for a rock stud bag. So you just put the little felt goes through there. Straighten it up a little bit. So I always like to keep it so that I cut it out purposely so there's a hole for this, and then you just create a little cocoon in the bottom, and then I add my paper like so, and then I put this within the paper, so I'm protecting both the strap from the bag and the strap itself from getting scratched. And then you just close the bag like so, like so, and you have a protected flap, because any kind of indent those spikes will be kind of impacted by the felt, so it won't damage the top of your bag. So the next important thing to do is to keep your bag in its dust cloth. This is important for quite a few reasons. The first being that the dust cloth protects your bag from sunlight, which sunlight is absolutely kryptonite to your leather bag. If you have a closet near a window, or you storing it near a window where there is literally a magnifying glass of sunbeam on your leather, it will fade in certain spots, it will mark it, it will burn it. And those are not things you want to have done to your Valentino. Trust me, it's hard to watch. It's also important too because it also protects it from if you have a leak, because leaks are also really bad for your Valentino handbag. If you are lucky enough to have a really nice closet that doesn't have sunlight coming in, and it's temperature controlled, by all means, you can have your bag. Doesn't need a dust cloth, it can be outside. But for someone like me, who I keep a lot of my bags kind of in the same spot in their box, the dust cloth is like super duper important, as well as keeping it in acid-free tissue paper, because sometimes the tissue paper itself is actually really harmful to your bag and can cause mold to grow. So they're very temperamental little babies, aren't they? But yeah, so that's what I do with my Rock Stud Spike bag. And so next I'm going to show you what I do for my medium Rock Stud bag. So same principle applies here, because the spikes make little points like what we have right here. So just a side note, I purchased these bags with the points on them. This point has not happened while in my care. Unfortunately, I bought these online, and sometimes, yeah, you don't really know what you're purchasing. These came from the warehouse, and they just did not have a very good travel over here. So that's what happened, which was really upsetting, but I'm here to teach you all from my mistakes. So with this one here, same principle, we just have a longer piece of felt. So I put my felt inside. So you can either do two things depending on how often you use this bag. You can either keep your chain within the little packet that comes with it to protect your chain. I think I use my bag too often to keep it within the chain. It's kind of a pain to kind of pull it in and out every time. So I have I like to keep this one a little bit longer, because then it also covers the bottom of my bag. So from there inside, it looks all like a cocoon. It folds out perfectly. And then I just add my stuffing back. Careful to not overstuff it into the wrong shape. We want it to maintain its normal shape. And then from there, you just flip your chain over and put that in the stuffing. So here it's between the stuffing and my felt. So the chain is also protected. And now we just close it, and that is what we are left with. So I'm going to show you the difference between a stuffed bag and a non-stuffed bag. So here we have a non-stuffed bag, and here we have a stuffed one. So as you can see, there is a bit of a difference. It just looks sleeker. And this bag, the shape is easily changed between my hands, where this one is not. There's not a lot of give. So if this sat on a shelf, my hands already, I can feel it going up in here. So that's how they look. And now I will show you the difference between a Rock Stud Spike in stuffed and non-stuffed. So this here is still stuffed. Let me pull that out. So this is now non-stuffed. And this one here is stuffed. So there's still a bit of give, but it's not dramatic like what it was with the medium spike, but we are still protecting our bag as we should do. So this one's got no stuffing in it, and it looks like this. So I hope you guys have learnt something today about your Rock Stud bags and how to look after them. I know that method has been a real game changer for me, and I really wanted to share that with everyone. I have shown my Valentino consultants these methods, and they approve of them. They think they're fantastic. They especially approve of using your dust cloth over your bag, because it really does protect them. I also wrote a blog post about this which you guys can check out, which I will link below. And I hope you all enjoy your Valentino handbags, and don't be scared to buy a rock stud, because they are easily, there's a lot of steps you can easily implement to ensure that things don't happen to them, that the spikes don't actually impact the leather, which is something that was a really great concern of mine. But after using this method, I really have been able to really get the most out of my bag and keep them as new as possible. So I hope you enjoyed today, and I will see you next time.